Hello guys. Welcome to our AI automation lab. So in this lab, we are going to learn several automations using n8n. So basically, after you have logged into your school account, you will see that you are on this page. On this page, you can see that there are several options: 60-second video introduction, and also find something to leave, a post to leave a comment, and also download the app. So while on this page, what you will do is go to Classroom so that you will be able to access all the AI automation templates. So after you've clicked Classroom, you can click the AI automation templates, which will then open several templates that are within our classrooms. You can see that we have some templates in content marketing, templates in sales and leads, templates in operations. There are several of them. So today we're going to focus on the daily executive briefing. So what you will do is, after you've chosen the template that you want, you can see that if I click on the daily executive briefing, it will open this, which is the daily executive briefing, which automatically summarizes your unread emails and today's calendars, then sends a scannable digest to Slack every morning at 8 a.m. So under resources, you can see that we have an n8n file and documentation. So what we want to do is download the n8n file. After you've clicked the file link, you will be taken to a page like this, and you will click on download. After you've clicked on download, you can see that my download is done. And also, if you click on documentation, you will see that you have documentation. Basically, this is documentation that contains instructions on how you are going to work on the workflow. And also, it gives you what the workflow does, what the workflow is. It's basically the whole documentation. So we can close this. What we want to do at this point in time is open a new tab, search n8n, and click on the first link. For first timers, what you will do is create an account. So you just sign up on n8n. Since I have an account, I'm going to just sign in. And I'm just going to use my credentials and sign in. But if you're a first-time user, you have to sign up and fill in your details, all the stuff that is needed. And you will be taken to their dashboard. So this is their dashboard. You can see that these are some workflows I've been working on. When you're on this dashboard, what you'd want to do is create a new workflow. Since we want to create a new workflow for the daily executive briefing we just downloaded, after we have clicked create a new workflow, on my top right corner, you can see the three dots. After I've clicked them, we have several options, and we're going to look for an option which says import from file. And after I've clicked import from file, you can see that it will automatically open to our downloads. If yours doesn't open into your downloads, you can navigate here and search for downloads. Maybe it can open into emails, so you just navigate and go to your downloads, and then you select the automation file that we've just downloaded, the JSON automation file that you've just downloaded. After we've opened the file, you can see that we now have the workflow, the JSON, now loaded on our n8n dashboard. Starting from here, we have several triggers. These triggers are starting here and ending here. Also, you have this set of instructions, like how you're going to set up every trigger, everything, and some guidelines on how to work on the workflow. So basically, this workflow has got, in the beginning, to start with, 2 touch triggers. So this manual trigger, we are going to use it to test our workflow after we've entered all our details. And this schedule trigger is the one which then is going to be used by the workflow. Since if I open this schedule trigger, you can see that we have several items. We have several options to choose from. Is the trigger going to be triggered daily? Is the trigger going to be triggered weekly, monthly? And then, yeah, these are just several options and the time and hour that we want the trigger to be executed. So after we've set our parameters, we can test the trigger to see if the trigger is working. And if we click on test the trigger, you can see that the node is successfully executed. So since this has successfully been loaded and tested, we can now close this because it has stored our data. So what we then do is move on to the next triggers or the next node. This is now a node, not a trigger. So this trigger is going to have two connections since it's a daily executive briefing. To start with, this workflow is going to collect data from our Gmail, all our unread emails, and it's going to collect also data from our Google Calendar, all the meetings, everything that we have, all the events and meeting links that we have in our Google Calendar. So both of this information is now going to be merged by this connector, which then sends the data to our API GPT node. So this API GPT node is then going to compile all the data from our Gmail and our Google Calendar into one component, into one thing. It analyzes the data, it rearranges the data, it makes the data clean, then it sends a well-formatted message to Slack. So firstly, there's this trigger, which is going to be triggered. And after the trigger has been triggered, data is going to be fetched from our Gmail, all our unread emails and all our events, meetups, meetings from our Google Calendar. Then both sets of data are going to be merged. And then it's going to be sent to our OpenAI, our GPT, which is going to format the data and rearrange it into a neat manner. And then it forwards the data to our Slack channel or our Slack messaging platform, where we are now going to see all the meetings and all the important emails that we have. So to set up these connections, we just double click the connection. You can see that after I've clicked here, you can just go into one and create a new credential. And then you just sign in with your Google account. That's it. I've already signed in, but basically that's what you do. And it's the same here. You just double click, create a Google account credential, and just sign in. You can see that there's a Google sign in here. You just click the Google sign in. It will open a page whereby you're going to put in your details and sign into your Google account. After you've done this, you can see that since I have my details already preloaded, I can test this node by executing this step. And you can see that it's loading and it's testing my connection node. Let's wait for it for a little bit. It's taking longer than expected, but basically, yeah, that's what you do here. And then for the OpenAI, what you're going to do is double click. Before we have done this, you can actually see that before we have entered anything, there's this red triangle. This basically means that you need to enter some credentials, you need to enter some information so that this connection will work. So as for OpenAI, you can just open it. For the OpenAI, we have these instructions here. So these instructions have a step-by-step follow-up of how you need to do this workflow. So for the API for OpenAI, what you do is click the link because there is this link. So you just click the link and it will take you to the OpenAI platform whereby you enter your details and sign in. After you've signed in, you can see that I'm already signed in because I'm using my account. So it's already signed in. For you, since you will not have an account, you will need to sign up and create an account. After you've created an account, you can navigate to your left bar here. You can see that there are several options. And there is this option which says API keys. If you press this option, you will be prompted to come to this page where you will see on my top right corner, there is a create new secret key, where if you press it, you will enter maybe the name of the workflow that you're working on and put some details and say create secret key. I already have the key here. I've created mine. So after you've created your API key, it will prompt you to copy it. It will have the secret key and you can copy your secret API key, which you will then come and paste here. You will see that when you try to create an API credential, it will ask you for the API key. You are going to paste your API key here, which you will have created on openai.com. You will paste it here, and this is just optional. What we are concerned about is the API key. After you've pasted the API key, you just click save, and everything is now set to go. And also, we have Slack as well. So as for Slack, the steps are really simple and repetitive. It's just you signing into your accounts of the workflow that you're working on. So as for Slack, you just create a new credential, you click connect my account, and it will then prompt you to an open Chrome page whereby you will create an account and link it with Slack. I've already linked mine. It's free, as you can see, the test account. So let me close this. So let's now test our workflow. Let's zoom out. Let's execute to test if our workflow is working. You can see it's now processing all the nodes. You can see it's processing all the nodes. And now the GPT OpenAI is processing all the data from our email and Google Calendar. It's very fast. It's now compiling the data. You can see how it's working. And after it is done, let's wait. And while it is doing this, let's go and open our Slack account and see if we have something there. Let's log in, wait. Okay. You can see that it has said the workflow executed successfully. So we want to see if something was sent into Slack as a message. So after this workflow is executed successfully, we can log into our Slack. And after we have gone into our Slack, you can see these messages that are now being sent from our workflow. So this is just a daily briefing. Daily briefing is now ready to view details, So yeah, basically that's how the workflow works. We have the schedule, which will trigger it at a certain given period of time, at a certain time, and at a certain interval. Then it collects data from our Gmail and our Google Calendar. Then all that data is now merged and sent to our GPT or OpenAI, which then formats the data and sends it to Slack. And we will then receive a message in Slack and see all our emails that we will now look at with very much prestige, order, and organization. So thank you for listening. That is our daily executive briefing, AI automation. Thank you.